Doctor. Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of The Kim Jacobs Show. Be sure to subscribe to The Kim Jacobs Show right on YouTube. Turn on your notification bell to all so you never miss a beat. And guess what? Every time you watch, you're going to receive a real relevant and relatable guest that's going to share with you a piece of the puzzle on this journey called life that will help you be able to manage just a little bit smoother. At the end of the day, the Kim Jacobs Show goal is to be able to provide balance to the world, one household at a time.
Kim Jacobs Show. You're watching Kim Jacobs Show.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to this episode of the Kim Jacobs Show. We have with us Dr. Josephine Harris over here. How are you, Dr. Josephine?
Hello, everyone.
I'm so glad to have you on. And for some reason, whenever I have you, even around me virtually, I feel just better. How is that possible?
I have that spirit of faithfulness.
I do believe so, because I actually feel the energy through just the virtual vibes. Now, where are you located? Because I don't know you personally at that level, but I know that just connect with you through different circles. Where are you located?
I am actually in Washington State, but I'm originally from Savannah, Georgia. So I'm in Washington State at the moment.
Okay. So, and how's the weather there?
Oh, actually, we had a snowstorm like a couple of weeks ago, and it's still trying to die down, but it's rainy and snowing, so it's okay. Normal weather in Washington State.
But you're bringing the vibrance and the joy and excitement over there in the Washington
Yes,
State.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Because it sure don't look like it's cold outside with how you look on the inside, right?
Yes, ma'am. That is. This is my persona right here.
I love it. I love it. Listen, everybody, grab your virtual seats. And I know all of y'all with the Herpreneur Network, y'all are all popping up in here. So I just want to go ahead and give a formal welcome to each of you guys as you come in and support one of your sisters and your network, Dr. Josephine Harris. Make sure you all let us know where you're visiting in from, and make sure you share this broadcast. Share it with everyone you know so people get an opportunity to hear today about how faith can really change your focus. That's what we're going to be talking about the whole episode, how faith can change your focus. If you know people that are military or military spouses in particular, please tag them. I'm going to give everybody 30 seconds. Think about it for a minute. Who do you know that's military that you can tag in the next 30 seconds? Because this woman is a military spouse, and she's going to be talking a lot to those that are of military interest. Let's take a moment to go ahead and tag some people now. Girl, that goes so fast. It's unbelievable. I think I only tagged like 3 folks. I really hope that you guys are sharing this broadcast with people. But today we're talking with Dr. Josephine Harris. Let me go ahead and introduce her to everyone. She's a military spouse. As I said, she's also overcome dealing with mental challenges as well as building a fulfilling career. So we're going to be talking with her today about that. But in addition to all of the hats that she wears, she's a 4-time best-selling author, international best-selling author, international speaker, certified mental health coach. It's one thing to go through some mental health issues. It's another thing to come out on the other side and become a mental health coach yourself and help others. And she's an advocate, as well as a psychotherapist, an international psychologist, mental health blogger. Welcome, Dr. Josephine Harris. How are you today?
I'm blessed. I am super, super happy. And thank you for having me on your show.
Well, thank you for being here today. Now, we can start anywhere. There are so many different directions we can go in, but really, let's go back to where it all began for you, where you maybe realized that you were having some mental health crises and then obviously became very passionate about it. But take us back on your journey, Sam.
I remember it all begins when when my mother, she was having issues with her heart. So it all begins when she was having issue with the heart and she began to be sick. So, and during that time she had passed away, in which during that time when she had a heart attack in church, and I was there and I was giving her CPR. So I brought her back, and while we was waiting for the ambulance to get there. So it was like me, I was the only one, and the whole family was there, and the family never been at church at all, but that day the whole family was there, as well as her grandchildren. So all of a sudden she was saying she was in pain a lot, and she went to the bathroom, and I was asking her, is she okay? But all of a sudden she just dropped to the floor. And when I was checking her pulse, her pulse was slightly fading away. So I'm asking, I'm like, Mom, are you okay? So she's not responding. And everybody was around her because the whole family was there, and they was looking at me like, are you going to do something? Because they know that I'm a registered nurse. So during that time, I was giving her CPR. I was telling people to call 911. So the experience of giving her CPR, I was one of the calm one in the family, because everybody was irate, and I had to be the calmest one so that I can give her the medical attention that she needs.
Right.
So when I was giving CPR, and you know when you give CPR and you give hand compression, you get tired. And my mom wasn't a small person, so I had to make sure that I give my all, and I was giving my all. And I brought her back. The ambulance came, and they continued to give her CPR. I brought her back, but when they put her in the ambulance, she had died again. So they kept doing CPR and CPR, but for some reason, she had a slightly her heartbeat was really faded. So they had to really get her to the hospital. But when we got to the hospital, she was on life support. So with that, and my mom had a lot of heart issues, and she also had a little bit of mental health issues. But during that time, she was the only one. I'm one of the middle children. So we talked a lot, and we was very close. And during that time, it was going through my head like, God, this is not happening. Because this is not the first time my mom had passed away. My mom had open heart surgery, and she died twice, and she came back, and she was lived it, and because she had custody of my nephew, so she lived it to see him at the age of 13.
Right.
It was so devastating. I said, God, you let her live twice, and this is the third time. So what is the purpose? So during that time, that really give me, I got out of, that's why I really got out of being a nurse. And it's because of that. So I went in another field of psychology, because that really shadowed my dream of being a nurse. And because of that, so I stayed away from being a nurse and went into psychology. And that what brought me to where I am now, because I was a nurse. I like, you know what, I can't take this no more. I like fade away. So I began to indulge myself in education while my husband was in Hawaii. So I couldn't even join him. I kept putting it off because of the situation that I was in. And he was upset because they wouldn't let him come back to join me in this time of my life where my mother had passed away, and I had all this going through my mind. So after I told him, I like, you know what? I'm giving up nursing. I can't do this no more.
So you're thinking when your mom is there, you have the skill set to do everything that you've already been trained to do, which is CPR and being able to help revive her. And you did that. You did what God had gifted you to do in the situation. And even the paramedics and everybody showing up and being there, doing their job, like you said, giving their all. I know, because I watched paramedics pour down with sweat. So I can envision the level of effort that's going into trying to save a person's life so they can still remain here on earth. And in this case, it's your mom, you know? And so, first of all, no matter how many years it's been, and I don't know how many years it's been, you still have my deepest condolences and my sincerest, deepest sympathy as well. And even as I know you share it right now, is probably, I don't know, because my mom is still here on this earth, and there's no comparison. When people say, "Oh, but I lost I had," nobody can relate to what anybody else is experiencing when it comes to the transitioning of their parent or their child or whatever, to whomever, off of this earth, because it's all personalized. So I'm really I'm just really sorry that this had to happen the way that it did. But I'm sure some kind of way that there were some takeaways for you, and only you can be the one to tell what those takeaways are. Do you want to?
Yeah.
Just after the commercial break, I'll give you let's take a commercial break. And then if you want to say what some of your takeaways were from your experience, because I'm sure the joy of the Lord through your mom is some kind of way resting on you, and only you can tell that story. So when we come right back, we'll hear more. Is that okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Right after this commercial break, everybody, we're talking with Dr. Josephine Harris.
I'm attorney Kenneth D. Snow, and at the Snow Legal Group, justice is our job.
For more than 20 years, Attorney Snow has been fighting for justice and winning cases in the Carolinas by providing aggressive representation in criminal defense, domestic violence, family law, serious injury, and wrongful death. If you've been injured or lost a loved one in an accident, including tractor trailer or rideshare, you need the Snow Legal Group by your side, fighting for justice and fighting for you. Visit snowlegal.com. Call 704-358-0026 for a free virtual consultation. Located at 6827 Fairview Road, Suite D in South Park.
All right, everyone, we are back, and we're talking with Dr. Josephine Harris today. She's going to be talking about how her faith really changed her focus. She's a military spouse, and she has been on a mental roller coaster throughout her life. And so she's here to tell her story in hopes that it will bring balance to some aspect of your own life as you're watching it. So make sure you share this broadcast with your friends, your family, your coworkers, anybody you know, to be able to be a part of today's discussion. Dr. Josephine, tell us, what did that do for you, knowing that you gave your all to help save your mom? And we all know we have to transition from this earth. But at the end of the day, when it happens, there's something that happens inside of us that are here remaining on this earth. What did your mom kind of leave with you as you're continuing on your journey?
And you know the thing is that with my mom and how close we were, it's like it was really it really took a really toll on all of us, because she wasn't even sick during that time. It just all of a sudden happened. Because I talked to her and she was fine. So when all this happened, it's like I'm here and I'm giving her, I'm a nurse. I'm like, God, do I supposed to be a nurse? Is this my calling? I'm going in direct direction? Should I be doing something else? So with that, she learned me and God learned me and taught me what really matters to me. So what really matters to you will determine your destination and the direction you're going in. Yeah. So I really had to really search that, and God really had to put that in my mind. And I'm not saying God, certain things happen for a certain reason. And he let my mom live through 3 heart attacks. And the last one, when she was in a hospital and she was on life support, then they left a whole lot of things in my hand, because I didn't know that she changed her will for me to make decisions of her life. And I'm like, I just made a decision of giving her CPR, and they want me to make a decision to put the plug. I can't do this.
Right. Wow.
So, and I'm the 4th child. It's 7 of us, and
wow,
it's like, why she made that decision on me, leaving that on me, knowing I revived her, and everybody looking at me like, Joe, what are you going to do? I'm like, I can't do this. So I had to actually leave the hospital, and I had to go and pray about it. And when I prayed, I'm telling you, it's like a light of her came to me clearly as the light in her. And she said, she called me Smiley. She's like, Smiley, I'm happy for you. I know you're going on a journey, but I'm ready to be let go. God has me. And it's like, I don't know how everybody's spiritual is, but it is a thing of realness. When the light came down, and it was like she was actually there, and she was telling me it's okay to let go. God has me. So I had made a decision to actually, whether she stay on life support, which she was not even good, because all her organs were deteriorating.
Right.
Even though she was on life support, so everything was deteriorating. So I had to make a decision in letting her go and pulling the plug, and God had to guide me. So when I say my faith changed my focus, I had to really believe that God really had her. So he had to really search. I had to research deep down inside me of my faith. So that really changed my focus. And being a military spouse, is, you know, that when certain things happen, they let you go, and they have to be in the meeting with family. If they're on a mission, they can't go. So I'm going on this emotional roller coaster and having these emotional drainage. So as my mental health became increase of turmoil with me, I was being a psychotherapist, being a nurse, and I learned that that's how I became a psychotherapist, and that's how I became a therapist, because being a nurse, I was like, you know what, I'm not going through mental health, because in our culture, we're like, you know what, we're gonna pray about it and leave it alone.
That's what we know that's just what you do. You're just like, okay, put it in God's hands. It's gonna be all right, and move on. But like you say, we know if we have something else going on that's just a little bit deeper, that we need to go ahead and, yes, always lean on God and trusting God in every aspect of our lives. But I believe that God also creates the psychologists, the psychotherapists, the counselors, the coaches. I believe that God created those people to use their skill sets as well. And so I'm a big believer that get the help that you need. Get the help that's needed.
So I began to and God placed this psychotherapist in my life, and I didn't really know he was a doctor, and his name was Dr. Leslie. I never forget him, because he used to come into the hospital. And I never forget him, because he was saying, like, why are you going through this? And I was like, I just my mom just has passed away. She because I just had decided to take her off life support. So when she took her last breath, she told us that she loved us. So that was the last word that we heard from her. So when I was in the chaplain, and I was praying, and I was asking God, and then this guy walked in, didn't know me. Didn't know that he was a doctor, didn't know that he was a therapist. Right. So he came in and he said, well, sis, are you okay? I'm like, no, I'm not okay. And I like, why are you talking to me? My mom just passed away.
Right. Like, I'm here for a reason to be secluded and not be bothered right now.
Yeah. So he gave me his card, and I reached out to him, and I seeked the help that I needed, even though my husband was in Hawaii. We couldn't even get in touch. He was keeping in contact, and he called me every now and then, but they was on a mission, and he couldn't come. Right. So I was like feeling alone. And then my brothers and sisters, you know how family is, they're like, well, the mama had an insurance policy, the mama had this, the mama had that, and it's like,
which again, this is stuff, even if we're talking about insurance policies and things, those should not be taboo discussions within any families, whether you're African American or any other nationality. You have to be able to have discussions now if a person is still here on this earth, so you know how things are in order and decency and in order. If and when, which all of us, it's not if, it's when we transition from this earth, what's in place. And so of course that should be a question, in my opinion, what was in place. And we should already kind of know that answer anyway. But many families don't. But in your case, you said your family talked about that, and what was
about it and all that. I knew that she had all that because I was the executive over all her estate.
Right.
But they didn't know because they wasn't as close to my mom as I were. Okay. So we was close and we was talking, and I was saying the reason why I learned to build my faith is because the faith, this psychotherapist walking to me, well, do you ever seek? I said, we don't seek that kind of help.
Right.
And he was like, telling my sis, I'm telling you, God brought me in here for a reason, and he wanted you to seek the help that you needed. I know that as our nationality, we don't veer on that, but when God places certain people in your life, then that is your opportunity to move forward with it. So and we start talking, and he became my mentor. So he mentored me through the whole thing, and I didn't really want to. You know how people be addicted to other things, but I was addicted to education in order for me to grieve, and I didn't want to grieve. So I was so addicted to education, and he was really guiding me and mentoring me, and like, you need to really grieve, and you need to let it go, and you need to pray, and I just I was kept going. I got 3 masters, I got a PhD, and it's just because I didn't want to accept the fact that she had left me.
You know what? First of all, when I say you're dropping such knowledge as you're just sharing your story here, anybody that's watching here, please put in the comment section how this is resonating with you. Put a heart, you teaching, you're preaching, you're ministering, say something to just encourage this woman, Dr. Josephine Harris, who is being a very open book about her story and her journey with her mom, her siblings, being a military spouse, all of the things that she's talking to us about today here on the Kim Jacobs Show. Dr. Josephine, let me make sure I understand with your siblings, because anytime you're the executor, you're the person that's making the final decisions. How did that work with you and your siblings? Were you all close, in agreement, in alignment, at odds? How is that? And you don't have to go too far, because these are siblings that still, you got to be.
Yes.
You got to see these people today or tomorrow, and they'll be like, oh, I know you didn't get on that good show and try and rat us out. So I'm not asking in that capacity. Just share it from whatever angle you can to encourage other people.
With my siblings, before we went in to discuss my mother affairs, we had a meeting, and I laid down the ground rules, and I told them, like, this is what, and this is how it's going to go. And if you not agree with it, if you have any money to pitch in, then go ahead. Don't ask about no money unless you have the money. Okay. So we had that meeting before we even went in to discuss her affairs.
Okay, I'm gonna type that. I want to type that comment, because that's a good one. If you are dealing with loved ones that are passing away, have a meeting with your siblings. That's really good. What else did you do?
We had a meeting before we went in to discuss her affairs, because with my siblings, I'm the middle, and I'm more of a humble person. Not too much of a talker, and the rest of them, when we go in here, we go discuss our affairs. If y'all don't have nothing good to say, don't say nothing at all. If y'all don't know how to input everything, don't say anything. So we went in there. It was a good meeting. We went in there, we discussed her affairs and who's going to do what and what position that each one of us holds. So it wasn't like a big chaos over everything.
That's good. That's to minimize chaos, everybody. You're dealing with loved ones, but you know that you are the 4th child out of 7 or something. Don't think you're going to try and run the show without everybody having some input. And this is what Dr. Josephine is saying. Dr. Joe Harris says, meet with the family. This is a good tip. Now, I actually misspelled something. Let me put my glasses on. But anyway, meet with the family.
Meeting is very important when you come into even death in the family, even with sickness in the family, when you have to make a choice. Because even though our siblings is semi-close, we understand that, okay, this is what the position you in, this is what the position I am. So we have to come in agreement, and we can't go in there acting up in front of all these people that's giving us advice of how to do the funeral and stuff like that. So I had to really have a meeting, because my baby sister and my second older sister, they have a big personality. Okay.
So they're like, you still the youngest, so don't trip. Yeah. We want us to go off up in here, right? They'll tell you something. I get it. All right. Yeah. Very good. So you and your family obviously got through this to the point where you were able to do what was in the best interest, according to what you all felt was in the best interest of your mom You let her transition to heaven peacefully. And now you're here, still left with the fact that you had this nursing skill, but you decided you're going to change it to psychology. And tell us more. What happens from there? What brings you to be the person that you are now?
My faith, I had to really change. My faith really changed my focus, because dealing with my mama passed, and I also, along the way, I had other family members that passed that got hit by a train. Then when my husband was downrange, his mama passed away. So I actually had to call him to let him know that his mama just passed away. And it was like death after death in throughout my life. So I really had to have that faith, and I had to really seek mental health attention so that can help me along the way, and to help me increase my faith with God.
Okay.
So as a military spouse, you go through a lot of emotional up and down, and your deployments, relocation, then you have children, then and on top of that, we are a blended family. So it was a lot going on in my life. So, and then you have a blended family that sometimes all these personalities clicking, and one side of the family don't get along with the other side of the family because of the past relationship they was in. And then you have these exes want to be like involved. So my faith I really had to say what matters to me.
That's good. This is good, y'all. Listen, what this woman is saying is some profound stuff. Military spouses go through a lot already. And if you have a blended family, there are even more dynamics, is what she's saying. What I would like to hear when we come back from this commercial break is what did some of those dynamics look like of you being a military spouse and having a blended family? And then I want us to talk about what does matter to you. Because at the end of the day, something had to click out of all of this stuff that's going on. It's like, okay, this is going on. My husband in Hawaii, my mom passed, my mother-in-law passed, my such and such got hit by a truck. This is a lot to deal with. It's just a lot for anybody. And fill in the blanks in your own life. I can fill in many blanks in my own personal life. I got this going on. I got that going on. I got this happening. I go, what? Oh my goodness, who could take more, right? Well, guess what? You'd be surprised. There's just something else that can automatically come out of the blue that could just still throw you a little bit off kilter, okay? Right after this commercial break, we're going to hear about some of those dynamics from Dr. Josephine Harris. And then we're going to hear also about what really ultimately mattered to her. Before we take a commercial break, let me see some of your comments. Angeline Hill says, I can identify with the military lifestyle. It's challenging, but God. Thank you so much for being here today. Make sure y'all tag your friends too. I too locked into a place of comfort to not deal with difficult places of my life. It was education. It was my coping mechanism. So she turned to, and she's the host of Sip and Chat. Remember I showed you the picture of Pastor Angeline Hill? She has a show, and it's called Sip and Chat with Pastor Angeline, and her husband, Pastor Perry, have a show that they do called Sip and Chat. And it's phenomenal. So make sure y'all check that out as well. Let's see. Arnetta Caldwell is here. Glad to have you. She's one of our Freestyle Friday experts as well. And she talks on her book about healing from a broken heart. So if you don't have her book, make sure you get it as well. And she just put a heart up there for you all, and lots of prayers and hearts. And hello to you, Arnetta. Let's see. Shanna says, good morning, Shanna Gordine. It's a great pleasure to have you on here today. I think you're going to be a guest coming up soon, if I'm not mistaken. I know your name anyway. Okay. Keith Harris says, all right now, Dr. Joe, let's go. Let's go. Okay. All right. I think I repped you right, Keith. All right. Let's see. It's cold and probably in Washington State he's talking about. All right, everybody, keep your comments coming in. And also right after this commercial break, we're going to hear more from our own Dr. Josephine Harris. I hope that you all are benefiting from today's episode. It's phenomenal so far. Thank you.
It's not just another day. It's a brand new day, full of all the fun, love, and laughter you and your family create. Silver Shield Security understands feeling at home means feeling safe and happy. No credit checks, no contracts. We offer payment arrangements. and we'll even give you a free door camera. Find out how we can brighten your day even more at silvershield-security.com. Silver Shield Security.
All right, everyone, and we're back talking with Dr. Josephine Harris, who says that faith changed her focus. So talk to us about being a military spouse. There are some military people watching. Let's talk to them for a moment.
Yes, as a military spouse for 20 plus years, it's been a journey. It's been a journey. My thing is the best skills and the best coping mechanism I can give you is have that other military spouse that you can connect to, have that network of military spouses that you can connect to. Okay. Even so, join that military group, like Facebook groups, even have a mentor doing the military spouses, even also go to the FRG meetings and stuff, because I was an FRG leader, and that helps me out a lot as I lead other military spouses, going through, giving them information, helping them through navigate through the challenges they have. So make sure that you be connected with your husband, have that open communication, because that is very, very important as a military spouse. Very important with that communication.
I love that. I love what you're saying. Okay, have a network of military spouses that you connect with. To don't just feel like you're on an island by yourself, because other people are going through what you're going through, and they are there to kind of lean on and say, I got you. I understand. It's some networks that you're a part of. If you're not like, I'm not a military spouse, I just don't know the answers for the people that are military spouse. I can tell you just some generic things that I think could help you, or that I think would help in your journey, but it's not the same as if you, Dr. Josephine Harris, you're walking that walk. So connecting with other military spouses is a good piece of advice. And I know personally that they're going to be connecting with you soon too, even further than what you have going on right now. But I will give you all some ways to stay connected until she announces some other future things that she's going to be doing. So how can people stay connected with you? Go ahead and tell them that mid-show.
Yes. You can stay connected with me on all social media platforms at Dr. Joe Harris, as well as Clubhouse as well. I am also part of the Herpreneur Network. You can stay connected with that Herpreneur Network. We have a plethora information, a plethora of Christian women in business. I also have a Healthy Minds and Blogs, where you can reach me at Healthy Minds and Blog as well. I have my Common Minds website as a psychotherapist as well.
All right, y'all. So you don't have any reason not to be able to stay connected to Dr. Joe Harris. I actually, on your Facebook page here, first of all, I just love this smile, but I kind of have to go over to this, because this kind of sums up in a nutshell the joy that you bring to, I'm sure, everyone that you meet. Let's go over here for a second. Here's your Facebook page, and look at this smile, y'all. Look at that. Look at that. Mental health matters. Mental health matters. And what makes you smile at that level? I mean, it's one thing to smile. I smile hard. But it's another thing to smile like from your soul, like that. What makes you smile like that? Tell us. What matters to you?
The joy of having God on my side, and my husband, and my wonderful 7 children and 9 grandkids. So that is the joy that I have.
That is so incredible. And I don't know on faith, I can see one picture here. I'm assuming this is your husband, so I'm definitely gonna pull this up here. But I'm only just scanning over here through. If you see me my eyeball somewhere else for a second here, I was just looking at your Facebook page while you were talking there, and I wanted to pull this picture up. Look at this.
That's my husband.
That's your husband? Look,
that's my husband.
You got that same smile. That same smile that's on your cover picture. You got it there too. And you're standing behind your man. So I'm so excited to be able to put that picture up. And how did it work with you all being in that military relationship, and him being in like secret missions and different things that you were like, oh my gosh, I need my husband right now? What advice do you give military spouses that may be watching today, that their spouses are still deployed somewhere and they're struggling to hold on?
Wow, you really have to really connect with other military spouses. And me and my husband are friends. We are spiritual friends. We connect through spiritual, physical, and emotional and mentally. So we have that
Hey,
really
Dr. Joseph,
connection
you like
that we have
you
with
said that physical, you went a little bit like you were like, we connect spiritually. That was real professional and calm. We connect spiritually and we connect emotionally. You said and we connect physically. You went there, you went all the way. So connecting spiritually, mentally, physically, and being able to connect with other military spouses. Okay, go ahead. Keep it going.
Yes, ma'am. And we also go on dates. We have date night. So we always have date night. And when we have date night, we have the ability. We are both busy and we have our phones. So we don't have our phones when we date at all. So we cut off all communication. So we focus on us.
Go ahead, girl. So when you connect with your
The
spouse
most important
mentally, physically, and emotionally, okay? And do date nights with no phone. Do date nights. This is some good stuff, y'all. I'm taking the notes here for you. Do date nights with no cell phone. Any other tips
thing.
you have?
Yes, man. We support each other. So now he's working on his master's. So I'm supporting him, and now I just got a new position as a professor, and he's supporting me. So we support each other. So if you have that, if it's like a husband find a wife, a good thing. That's what God said, and we are that powerful couple. So that would make us unique.
So support each other on the journey. If one is working on something, support his journey and whatever it is that he needs from you in that moment. And then if she's working on something, then you support her and whatever it is that she needs at that particular phase as she's going for her professorship. This is beautiful. Woo, woo. Support each other on this journey. You're hearing it right here from Dr. Josephine Harris, right here on the Kim Jacobs Show. And that's whether you're a military spouse or not, but she's just talking because she's a military spouse herself. And so this is great advice to any of you out here. All right, so let's see. You are a 4-time best-selling, international kind of best-selling author. Talk to us about some of your books, some of your projects, where people can get them as well.
Well, I've been on many anthology with Dr. Yolanda Jerry, with Pastor Paulette, with Tiffany D. Bale. So the most recent book that's coming out is Affirmation for a Woman on a Mission, which is coming out with, I did it I wanted a co-author with Tiffany D. Bale, which is the visionary author. So, and I did one on resilience. That's when I talk about my mother death and how I overcame that, and how resilient I've been. And then I did one with Dr. Yolanda Jerry when I talked about my past relationship, as I've been abused as an emotional wreck as I was going through a journey of domestic violence. So it's a lot of plethora out there, but my thing is now that I'm working on an 8-week program for military spouses called Grace Empowerment Coaching.
Wow.
So it's coming this year. It's coming out on how I empower, encourage military spouses to find a voice, to be the upfront of, instead of hiding behind the military career, that they can have their own fulfillment career. So the program is going to teach military spouses how to work around, how to navigate through the military community. So that's what I'm working on now. And I'm also getting ready to produce. I'm working on a book. I'm putting the finished last touch on my book, and it's going to be called The Unseen Realm. And it's happening throughout my journey of my faith-based journey, and how I interrupt God from him not doing what he's supposed to do in my life.
Wow. Okay, that's going to be interesting. How you interrupted God from doing what he was supposed to do?
Yes, what he meant to do in my life.
Okay, you got to tell us a little bit more than that. You can't just leave us on a cliff like that. That's too much of a cliffhanger. If anybody wants to know what that means right after this commercial break, just type I do. Say I do. I need to know what I interrupted God. Okay. I want to hear about that right after this commercial break. Seriously, y'all, don't you want to hear? I want to hear about it. Okay. Right after this commercial break, tell us how you interrupted what God had planned to do. And now what? He didn't do it because you interrupted him? Yeah, I want to hear that right now.
My father had 4 of his fingers amputated in a workplace accident. It was the first injured individual I represented, and I knew I had to win that case. When someone walks into my office and they've been injured, I know what they're going through. If you've been injured at work with Hunter and Everett. We've got the experience, so let us help you.
All right, so we are back with Dr. Joe. Tell us how you interrupted God's plans.
And what I mean by God, I interrupted God's plans is certain things God had put along my path, but I was too hard-headed to accept it. So certain things, and when God put certain things along in my path, I was too hard-headed to accept it. So I went through a whole lot of challenges so that God can spank me and get me on track.
Okay. Nobody wants to, please, Lord. Please, if you could hear my humble cry, I don't want to be spanked to get on no track. Just gently nudge me and okay, Kim, you're veering. Come on back over. You're veering. You come. Yes. Please, Lord, seriously, I'm inclining my total ear to what you need me to do. But we don't want to be spanked, right?
No one wants to be spanked by God because it's a hard lesson you have to learn. You need to get it the first time when God put things in your path. Don't be hard-headed, because I learned, don't be hard-headed. Get it the first time, because he will not lead you wrong or steer you straight. So
what was something that, because that's the next question. I don't know. Y'all even asking questions over here in the studio audience?
I'm not giving too much information because you got to
Okay. We're going to get off of that. We're going to get the book when it come out, and we're going to move on to the next topic. How about that? Okay. So let me see some of your studio. This is a good way to just save by the bell, because I was going to go a little bit deeper, but then I don't want to go too deep because we want to wait for the book to come out. So let's see. Angeline Hill says, God, I understand now. I don't want to be spanked either. I cannot be spanked by no God. Yes, keep me on track, God. You keep me on track is what Mary V. Burton said. God's plan and his promises, I would say. Yes. I agree with you, Mary. I need to know what interrupted God means. Yes. So she just said it too. Okay, so we all can't wait for that book to come out for sure. And make sure you guys know that you can stay connected with Dr. Josephine Harris through all of these different platforms. For those that are on the audio podcast through iHeartRadio and iTunes and SoundCloud and stuff, you can stay connected with her by going to Calming, CALMING, Minds, LLC.com, calmingmindsllc.com, and at Dr. Joe Harris on all of her social media pages. Okay. If you want to email her, go to Josephine, Josephine Harris, 5 at gmail.com. Josephine Harris, 5 at gmail.com. I have to do that because I also have hot podcast listeners and they're not seeing this broadcast. So we're streaming live across a wide variety of platforms. So no matter what platform you're looking at, it is others that are looking at it and listening to it as well. And we're grateful for all of you, wherever you're listening in from or viewing in from. I also want to give you all the opportunity to know that we would love for you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, The Kim Jacobs Show. So if you haven't taken a moment to do that, take a moment and go to our YouTube channel, put in some watch time and watch some of the previous guests that we've had on. Watch this episode again too, because we love your support over there. And if you're interested, which I hope you're interested in seeing this programming Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time, take a moment to pour into The Kim Jacobs Show. This is the only way we get to keep this type of original program content coming to you every single day, live, right here. Hello, I'm live right here with Dr. Josephine Harris, and she's bringing value to your life. So make sure you pour into the Kim Jacobs Show, $ Kim Jacobs Inc., PayPal.me/Kim Jacobs Inc., and Venmo at the Kim Jacobs Show. Or you can become a Patreon member, which is a monthly membership, and it's patreon.com/the Kim Jacobs Show. And final thing I'll tell you is if you want to start your own talk show, and many people do say, hey, I want to start a show from scratch. I have a gift that I want to share with the world, but I don't know where to begin. or you just want to improve your presentation skills, go to kimjacobsconsulting.com to learn more. And I walk with you one-on-one for 6 consecutive weeks until you get your show created. All right. So Dr. Josephine Harris, when you had your own mental crises, you overcame that some kind of way. What was the way that you overcame that so that other people that are still struggling can learn?
One of the things I overcame is, as a psychotherapist, we are the hardest people to be as clients. So one of the things I had to overcome, I had to acknowledge that I had a mental health crisis. I had to acknowledge that it's okay to not be okay. And I had to seek the help, the professional help that I needed. I had to make sure that my husband supported me no matter what. And he was on that road with me as I recover from different mental health challenges that I had. So I had to really make sure that I am aware of my own mental health challenges, because no one could be aware of it but you. But you have to be okay not being okay.
How do you do that? Okay, because like I hear people say that, right? And so for those that are watching, I'm sure I'm speaking on everyone's behalf. How, because people that are not okay, do they not know, or do they know that like, I know when I'm not okay, I know when I'm not okay. I don't need somebody else to tell me I'm not okay. It's like, Kim, your body's talking to you. You need to unwind, you need to unplug. You're feeling stressed, you're overwhelmed a little bit. I can have my own conversation. But then sometimes, like Les Brown says, when we're in the picture frame, we don't see ourselves. And so my mom will tell me things sometimes, or Sean, my friend, will tell me things sometimes that I just don't see in myself. And I'm like, I did that? Oh my God, I didn't even know. I didn't even know I was coming across like that. I didn't even know I was coming across like certain things. So it takes people from the outside sometimes to help us identify that we need help.
Help.
What do you advise?
With me, I'm a person of, I shut down a lot.
Okay.
So my husband was like, you know what? You're beginning to shut down. I think you need to continue to seek your professional help. And with me, I start to get agitated real quick. And I'm not a person that get agitated because it take a lot for me, because I'm very humble. So when I know that he knows that I'm getting agitated, and when I'm getting agitated with my children, and I love children, so I don't get agitated with them easily, but I started to get agitated. And my husband's like, you know what? You need to pull back, debrief, and you need to go and take a minute, get some self-care, do what you need to do, because you're beginning to get agitated. And he knows I'm a very humble person, and I don't get agitated fast unless I'm beginning to be really stressed and overwhelmed. So I had to really pull back, get some self-help, and seek the professional help. I had to call my therapist and say, you know what, I need a section.
Okay. I love it. So you recognize when you need help, but then you also take the advice of someone that you know has your best interest at heart, which is your spouse. And he's telling you, hey, go get your nails done. Go get something. You need something. You need to go get your hair done. Go take a bath. Do something. Because he's able to identify some of your triggers. And he's saying, come on, baby, this is not you. This is not you. Perfect. Okay. So listen to those that are close to you, that you know have your best interest at heart, and let them help you by telling you you need help. Don't get offended. Don't be like, oh, well, you need help. It's like, no, you need help. And you need to get it right away because you're having a mental break. And it's not like in a taunting way.
No.
That's the other question I was going to ask. Is like, if people are telling people they need help, right, but they don't get the help, then it's almost like you're agitating the person, because you're saying, no, I'm serious. I love you and you need help. And they're like, no, I don't care about what you're saying. What do you say? What do you say to these kind of people? Just let them figure it out on their own?
So, no, you don't. You just keep encouraging them. Like, sometimes when you insert yourself, like, you know what? I have felt the same way you felt. And when I seek professional help, that helped in me. And if you're not comfortable with going to a professional help, I would come to support you. I will go with you to support you. If you want me in the room with you,
that's good. Okay. So offer, I'm typing what you're saying. Offer to go with your loved one to get help. Okay. That's great advice, Dr. Joe. Any other tips?
Because sometimes we don't. Sometimes with nationality, different nationality, people like us, people of color, they really, and people against their religions, they Christianity. Sometimes they don't want to even seek the help that they need, but they know they need the help, but they don't want to seek the help because they think it's a taboo in their world.
Right. So yeah, it's a taboo. It's like, oh, I don't went and got psychological evaluation or whatever.
And knowing they need their help. So it's all about supporting your loved ones, supporting your friends, supporting the ones that you admire, and letting them know that you're not okay. It's okay to be not okay, but you need to get the help that you need so that you can be okay.
I love this advice. Okay, listen, one of our studio audience members has a question. And listen, if you all have questions or comments, or you want to pop on the screen for this last 10 minutes, let me put the link here. You can click on this link. And let's ask some questions. Let's ask our expert, Dr. Josephine Harris. She's certified in this field of mental health, and she may be able to answer your question. There's no need to. Y'all be done got a free session right here. You better go on now, like my grandma said, go on now and get that help. All right, let me see. Go on. I love my grandma said that. Okay, here we go. Mary V. Burton says, I sometimes don't recognize that I'm overwhelmed, even with having a degree in psychology. I sometimes keep everything bottled up or repress my feelings. Book knowledge doesn't always help in all self-care.
And it doesn't. It doesn't help. Because like you said, you have a degree in psychology and you don't really recognize you being overwhelmed. With me, it takes me a long time to get overwhelmed, but I have to really recognize of me getting overwhelmed. So sometimes with me, I shut down, and I do sometimes bottle and repress my feelings, but I have a journal that I write. So I write even when I have these feelings and I'm feeling overwhelmed, I write in my journal, and it helps me a lot to repress them feelings, to write them feelings out on my journal. And when I'm getting overwhelmed, I have a wall called affirmations on my wall. So every day I put an affirmation on my wall and I look at it so that when I become overwhelmed, I like, oh, you know what? It's time for me to pull back. I can do this later. I repeat my affirmations as well. So that helps me to recognize, even though you really don't, sometimes you don't recognize being overwhelmed, but you can feel when your body's starting to shut down, when your body started to like get tired, when you starting to feel like, oh my goodness, this is everything. Yeah. And when you become overwhelmed, it's like you procrastinate a lot.
Okay. So you start procrastinating a lot. So this is Mary, this is some great advice that she's saying, looking at some of the things that you don't normally do, but now you're starting to do those things like procrastinating. You feel overwhelmed and tense and stressed and tight. Right. Those are all things that you can look for as signs that start to say, no matter what degree you have, it's time to start doing a reevaluation type of thing. I love it.
Reevaluate your whole day. Even write your feelings down. Like if you're feeling overwhelmed, journal them feelings out, because sometimes that does help, journaling.
Okay, this is good. Journal your feelings out. And can you tell us just some affirmations? They don't have to be so mind-boggling, but just some basic affirmations that you use to get through your days.
To get through my day, I have my affirmation of faith. I am going to stay in faith. I am going to continue my faith. I am going to focus my faith. And in faith and overall, I will be having faith today. So that's really my affirmation as I move forward in my journal, especially in the mornings, because I'm a morning person and I get up and I pray and I read. So that helps me out
really
a lot.
Good. So I will continue my faith. I am a person of faith. What else did you say?
I will continue my faith. I am a person in faith, and I will finish my day in faith.
Oh, that's good. This is good, everybody. Day in faith. Listen, just say this alone. I mean, we can start saying this immediately. If your day is already off kilter today, this right here is some good stuff to just put out in the atmosphere. Because sometimes when we put out in the atmosphere, that's what kind of can happen. We're just saying, hey, this we're speaking life and death into situations and circumstances. I will continue my faith. I am a person of faith. I will finish my day in faith. And you heard it right here on the Kim Jacobs Show from Dr. Joe Harris. Say it. Let's all say it. I want y'all. I just typed it. Listen, I typed it. Okay. I want y'all to type it. I will continue my faith. Somebody confirm that you believe what's being shared here. I will continue my faith. I am a person of faith. I will finish my day in faith. You did that, Dr. Josephine Harris.
And I also go by the scripture, Proverbs 4:25-27. Keep look straight ahead without turning aside. Know where you are headed and you will stay on solid ground. Don't make a mistake by turning to the right or the left. Keep your faith from evil.
Okay. Proverbs 4:25 through 27. I'm going to put the King James Version. I'm going to grab that too because this is good. Let thine eyes, oh my gosh. Let me write all of this. I love this. I love this. Let me put this over here for y'all. You have no excuses. After you have different guests that come here on the Kim Jacobs Show, it's life-changing. Let's put that right there. Turn 27. Oh, you know what? Because I put the whole King James Version and everything. It just went and I just did the most. Okay. So let thine eyes look right on and let thine eyelids look straight before thee. Ponder the path of thy foot and let all thy ways be established. Turn not to the right or what's the rest of it?
Or to the left.
Or to the left.
Keep your faith, your foot from evil. Keep your foot from evil.
Wow. Okay. Remove that foot from evil. I'm going to copy that too. That's good. Okay. Remove yes. Y'all, please make sure I'm right here on the show. We're putting this information here so that you have some type of reference point. You don't even have to go back and read it all yourself later. You can go right here and pull it back up in whatever platform you're looking at. And it's right here for you. Proverbs 4:25-27. Let thine eyes look right on. Let thine eyelids look straight before thee. Ponder the path of thy feet and let all thy ways be established. Not some of our ways, all of our ways. All of our ways. Turn not to the right or to the left and remove thy foot from evil. Man. Angeline Hill, the host of Sip and Chat with Pastor Angeline, says she just emailed you, Dr. Harris. So I'm sure you might be a guest on another show coming up here soon because she like, look here, we need to get you on over here. And you know what? When you go on Pastor Angeline's show, they wear masks. And when you come in, they say we're going to remove the mask because it's a no judgment zone. And y'all take that mask off and y'all go all the way in on her show. So you're going to be enjoying being a guest on Pastor Angeline's show. You'll love it, trust me. Okay, Pastor Angeline said yes. Okay. All right, let's see. Did anybody? I will continue my faith. I am a person of faith. One of the Facebook users said, thank you so much for confirming that. Kimberly Fallis said, I will continue my faith. I am a person of faith and I will finish my day in faith. Amen. Yes. Mary V. Burton says, I will continue my faith and I am a person of faith. She said, yes, thank you so much. I truly sometimes lose track of things working from home and I feel so isolated. What do you say to military spouses and to women, men that feel isolated while we're dealing with this whole pandemic?
Wow, because I'm a military spouse. I work from home. So we're feeling isolated sometimes when during the pandemic, and I know it's very hard with you dealing with children at home, with your spouse at home, with you work from home, and how I deal with it and feeling isolated. Sometimes I have an office, so sometimes I go in my kitchen and I play gospel music so I can have that upbeat, like, okay, I can work. I'm not feeling isolated. So yes, praise and worship on. Sometimes I go sit on my patio and I listen to gospel music out there. But right now it's cold, so but we got a fire pit. So sometimes I sit by the fire pit and it's like I'm not feeling isolated. And sometimes with you being home with your spouse, you have to really, really give each other minutes apart. And when I say that, be in another room and you be in another room, because being in the pandemic with your military spouse, most marriages during this pandemic end in divorces. And that's because they so so surrounded by different things that's happening in their home. So you have to give each other space. Put space. And you know what? We know we marry and we in the pandemic and the children driving us crazy and you have your damn kids and your husband driving you crazy. So you have to give that space to everybody. Like, divide yourself in different parts of the house. And if when you become, and you won't feel like isolated, then you become back as a family, then you can reconnect because you're all divided in the house. So as my family, we all eat together. No phones. No electronics, and the kids know that, and the grandkids know that. Good. So that's our time of bonding and asking everybody how your day going, what you did today, how your mental health going. Do you need any help? Do you want us to do this? Do you need us to do this? And right now, as we growing and I see my kids growing up, we are empty nesters. The last child just went off to basic training in the Air Force, so we dealing with the empty nest now. So,
well, is there a picture on your Facebook page of everybody? I don't know.
Not everybody, because everybody is scattered.
I see all the individual pictures, but I don't know if they're kids or whatever, so I couldn't pull that up. But I know that you have a large family, and I was like looking, I was trying to figure out. But it's so you have like 1,000. You have a gazillion pictures.
Yes, we are a blended family. Huge family.
Right. Well, that's good. That's even more love. Huge this is so good. I hope that all of your questions are being answered here. Yes, Pamela Howard. I love this as well. And Pamela Howard is one of our experts on the Kim Jacobs Show. She's actually going to be a part of tomorrow's episode, just so you all know. We have, are you on tomorrow? Yeah. This is our Freestyle Friday experts that's coming on right here tomorrow on the Kim Jacobs Show. We're going to hear from Vicki L. Evans, and Vicki L. Evans has a play that's coming up in March that she's going to be talking about called The Gift at the Blumenthal Theater in Charlotte. We have our sunshine expert, Athena Robertson. She's going to be coming on and talking to us about just the joy that we can bring to this world with all of the gloominess that's happening. Pamela Howard, our luxury event planning specialist, will be on. Camille Richardson, she's blind, but she is actually our vision expert, and she's going to be dropping some knowledge tomorrow. Ken Canyon is our relationship expert. And you know when Ken come on, he got something to say about some relationships. So y'all be in your virtual seats tomorrow at 11 o'clock a.m. And we're going to go on another roller coaster ride. Dr. Josephine, you have shared some wonderful, insightful information. What else do you want everybody to know that maybe you didn't get a chance to talk about today? That you say, I meant to say this and I forgot. And now we're going to get off the show and it's over and I'm disappointed I didn't say this. Go ahead, say it.
Well, what I wanted to say is, remember, God always have your back, and you really have to stay in your faith. You have to start in faith. You have to stay in your faith, and you have to finish in faith. Remember, your faith can help you through your personal and professional life, long as you have lean on God and put God in everything you do, even in your business.
Yes. All right, everybody, put God in everything you do, even in your business. Make sure that you all stay connected with Dr. Josephine Harris. Dr. Josephine, Josephine, the number 5 at gmail.com. Follow her on all social media outlets at Dr. J-O Harris. And then you can go to her website at calmingmindsllc.com. And definitely check out her blog. Her blog is at Healthy Minds and the and sign, Healthy Minds and Hearts.wordpress.com. Healthy Minds and sign Hearts.wordpress.com. All right, everybody. I hope that you enjoyed today's episode. Dr. Josephine, you are a blessing to the world. Thank you for gracing us with your presence today.
And thank you for having me on this show. I really, really, really greatly appreciate it.
Oh, thank you. Stay backstage. We'll talk for a quick second. Everybody's saying thank you, keeping God first. Mother Harper, Mother Julia Harper, 83 years old, has a heart that's been beating in her for 20 years. She's a recipient of a heart transplant and is a joy to the world. And I'm so excited that you're on today watching this episode. She's also a supporter and a contributor to the Kim Jacobs Show. So listen, everybody. If Mother Harper contributes to the Kim Jacobs Show at 80-something years old. She supports the Kim Jacobs Show. I'm hoping that God will touch your heart to support the Kim Jacobs Show too. Thank you so much, Mother Harper. Keep God first. Thank you, Dr. Joe. Dr. Joe, great job, Queen, sister, Sherelle says. And yes, oh, let me see who said this. Oh, Genevelyn says, Dr. Joe. Okay, we got to get off this show, y'all. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
Great episode. Everybody supporting you. Thank you to the Herpreneur Network for supporting one of your own tribe members and directors, Dr. Josephine Harris. I'll continue to pop your comments up as we close out, but we're going to go ahead and close out, and I'll see you tomorrow at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Stay backstage, Dr. Joe. Hello, everyone. I'm Kim Jacobs, host of the Kim Jacobs Show, where we're bringing balance to the world, one household at a time. Mother Harper's we go live every weekday, Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I bring guests on that talk about their backstories, things that they've had to overcome to become who they are today. Many of them are balancing and juggling life, and they've become experts in different fields. So they're sharing tips with you to make your life just a little bit easier. Many times as a guest in the studio audience, you'll get a chance to walk away with a missing piece of the puzzle that might be missing in your life. Let's go on this journey together, and I look forward to seeing you Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on the Kim Jacobs Show.